Student from Belize, Susanna, she created this tetraploid. Okay, a little slightly off topic. I showed this this is a common lay flower in Hawaii. I showed it to my friend, who's a longtime lay flower, not breeder, just a commercial lay flower producer, Kazuto Yamada, lives in our community. And I showed it to him, and he had a one-word response. He said, money. And I said, oh, so you're gonna get more money for a lay with this? No, I'm not gonna get more money, but it's gonna cost me less to produce a lay. Because this flower I need 100, this flower I need about 60. And stringing a lay is the most expensive part of lay making. Gert Britz did it back in 1985, 40 years ago. He created a tetraploid Protea repens. I don't know why it was never introduced, and he also created a tetraploid cordifolium. Okay, I'm done. This is my favorite. It's hybrid 165. We did introduce it. We argued about it, and eventually we said, okay, we'll introduce it. It doesn't have good post-harvest life. It doesn't have long stems, but we introduced it as a landscape plant. Because if you look at that plant from about 50 feet away, if it's got a lot of flowers on it, it really looks like it's on fire. It's so beautiful. And the very last slide, is, oh no, second last. I have to acknowledge some people who played a significant role in it. Pam Shingaki was the technician when I was doing breeding at the Kula station. We worked together really, really well. And she was a technician and outstanding with her work. Thomas Littleton, as I mentioned, he was my graduate student from Costa Rica, very productive student, very, very hardworking. And Tony Ribello, that is the correct way to spell his name. And Gert Britz, I consult with them often, and they were, particularly Tony with the information about species. There's nobody better. He retired, actually. I wanted to get him to speak at this meeting, but he said, I'm retired, I don't have any money. This is what we're talking about, the section Cardina stylus, all those species there. This is the last slide. Saxosum, I was running it down earlier, my mistake of thinking it was going to have warm temperature trial. Let's look at it from a different perspective. It's got a long flowering season. Praecox has a long flowering season. Hybrid 192, Thomas Littleton planted 3 plants in 2006 at the Kunia station. And we just shut that down about 3 years ago. So what's that? I don't know how many years it is. But it's in flower, all 3 of the plants, every year. Every day. Every single day. It's never out of flower. Every day. Now, it's not a cut flower. It's got short stems, small flowers, weak substance. It doesn't have anything to recommend itself by, except it flowers every day of the year. So if I was still breeding and wanted Leucospermum for every day of the year, that would be in the program as a breeding plant. Also for landscape, I'd like to get this plant in the resort areas, high tolerance to warm temperatures. I'd like to convince one of our nursery people to grow thousands of this and get it into the resort landscapes in Honolulu and other places so tourists can see it and start asking about Protea. Sorry, questions, comments, retaliations, or rebuttals? Wait.
How soon are some of these developments of yours going to be in production?
How soon are they going to be in production? Huh?
A lot of them are.
Oh. Yeah, I don't need this. A lot of them are being grown. I mean, this one, 192, that was released many years ago. We just didn't realize that it was released many years ago. I've only when I started doing the screening for warm temperature tolerance did I identify it as something to use in this breeding program. But a lot of the others, growers in Hawaii have been growing them, some of them on a trial basis. In other words, ownership is still with the University of Hawaii, but they can grow them and propagate them, and yeah, they're being grown. They're not they're in small numbers, and we don't have sufficient numbers to do wide distribution. And there are a number of Hawaii growers that are interested in trialing these, so I don't think they'll be available outside Hawaii anytime soon, but I don't know. Any other questions?
Yeah. One
Yeah.
of the biggest problems being put in the mill of them is the heads breaking off in transit. Yeah, one of the biggest problems is the heads breaking off in transit or when we're trying to sell them. Was there any selection done for sort of neck strength?
No.
Is there the potential for that?
Potential to do the research on that? Okay,
Not if they have reflexum in them.
what's your comment about that?
The heads are going to snap off if they have reflexum in them.
Dr. Fletcher says if they got reflexum in them, your head's going to get lopped off. So, we haven't done the research. On the earlier releases, sorry?
I just wanted to make a comment from a breeding perspective on Leucospermum.
Yes.
We've got a great test, and it's very sad for a breeder when we go through and do our evaluations on Leucospermum. You shake the stem, and if the head flies, even if it's the most beautiful flower, it doesn't make the grade. But we definitely, with our new hybrids, are finding that we are able to breed in that characteristic of less head drop.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for those comments. Yeah, we haven't done that. We haven't done that work. As I mentioned, I'm doing this without any funding. The funding was for the earlier research. Protea funding that dried up. The funding I have in recent years has been to develop sterile landscape trees so that they can't be invasive, and so that's been my focus. And this work is really kind of on the side. So anyway, what am I getting to? We haven't done the post-harvest work that we did for all the other releases. Anything else that we released prior to 2007, we did post-harvest trials on those, and we would be able to give you a better answer on those things. These we have not done any post-harvest work. The only thing this accomplished or revealed was where we get warm temperature tolerance, and 15 hybrids that have warm temperature tolerance that local Hawaii growers are trialing at low elevation. We have to break for lunch. Dana said, they're tired of hearing you, Ken. You're over with. Same thing as my wife said. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.